Hi, we are back with the next video in the section, Locking User Accounts. Previously, we prevented brute force password attacks. In this video, we will use usermod and passwd to lock user accounts and then lock the root user account. Okay, you've just seen how to have Linux automatically lock user accounts that are under attack. There will also be times when you'll want to be able to manually lock out user accounts. Let us look at an example. When a user goes on vacation and you want to ensure that nobody monkeys around with that user's account while he or she is gone. When a user is under investigation for questionable activities. When a user leaves the company. In regard to the last point, you may be asking yourself, why can't we just delete the accounts of people who are no longer working here? And you certainly can, easily enough. However, before you do so, you'll need to check with your local laws to make sure that you don't get yourself into deep trouble. Here in the United States, for example, we have the Sarbanes-Oxley law, which restricts that files that publicly traded companies can delete from their computers. If you were to delete a user account along with that user's home directory and mail spool, you just might be running afoul of Sarbanes-Oxley, whatever you may have as the equivalent law in your home country. Anyway, there are two utilities that you can use to temporarily lock a user account. Using usermod to lock a user account. Using passwd to lock user accounts. Let's start with usermod. Let's say that Caitlin has gone on maternity leave and will be gone for at least several weeks. We can lock her account using this command. When you look at Caitlin's entry in the etc shadow file, you'll now see an exclamation point in front of her password hash. Let's see that. The permission is denied. So let's move through root. Open the file again. You can see the exclamation point. This exclamation point prevents the system from being able to read her password, which effectively locks her out of the system. To unlock her account, you have to execute another command. Let's do that. Run this command. You'll see that the exclamation point has been removed so that she can now log into her account. Next is using passwd to lock user accounts. You could also lock Caitlin's account with this command. This does the same job as usermod-l, but in a slightly different manner. For one thing, passwd-l will give you some feedback about what's going on, where usermod-l gives you no feedback at all. On CentOS, the feedback will look something like this. Also, on the CentOS machine, you'll see that passwd-l places two exclamation points in front of the password hash instead of just one. Either way, the effect is the same. To unlock Caitlin's account, just run this. Now, what would you do if you wanted to lock the root user account? The cloud is big business nowadays, and it's now quite common to rent a virtual private server from companies such as Rackspace, DigitalOcean, or Microsoft Azure. One thing that these cloud services have in common is that when you first set up your account and the provider sets up a virtual machine for you, they'll have you log in to the root user account. I know that there are some folk who just keep logging into the root account of these cloud-based servers and think nothing of it, but that's really a horrible idea. So, the first thing that you want to do when you set up a cloud-based server is to create a normal user account for yourself and set it up with full sudo privileges. Then log out of the root user account, log into your new account, and run this command. I mean, really, why take the chance of getting your root account compromised? You can unlock it by sudo password root. We covered a lot of ground in this section, and hopefully you found some suggestions that you can actually use. We started out with showing you the dangers of always logging in as the root user, and how you should use sudo instead. In addition to showing you the basics of sudo usage, we also looked at some good sudo tips and tricks. We moved on to user management by looking at how to lock down users' home directories, how to enforce strong password policies, and how to enforce account and password expiration policies. Then we talked about a way to prevent brute force password attacks and how to manually lock out user accounts. In the next section, we'll look at how to work with various firewall utilities. I'll see you there.